For today's discussion, we're going to take off and expand upon a few Rashis that we did in our weekly Rashi study. And I want to start by looking at the Rashi in chapter 6, verse 26. So the Rashi there states, the verse states in chapter 6, verse 26 of Parshas Vaera, it states, Hu Aaron Moshe, this is Aaron and Moses, Asher Amar Hashem Lahem, that God said to them, Hotziu es bnei Yisrael me'eretz Mitzrayim, take out the children of Israel from the land of Egypt, al tzivotam. So this is Aaron and Moses. And then the next verse says, they are the ones who spoke to Pharaoh, the king of Egypt, to take out the children of Israel from Egypt. This is Moses and Aaron. So the first verse says this is Aaron and Moses. And the second verse says this is Moses and Aaron. So why does the verse, one time in the first verse, refer to the two of them as Aaron and Moses, and in the second verse refer to them as Moses and Aaron? And so as we studied in the Rashi discussion, Rashi says, why does it say like this? Rashi tells us it's because Rashi says there are some places, Yesh Mekomos Shemakdim Aaron Moshe. There are some places where Aaron comes before Moses, but then there are other places where Moses comes before Aaron. Why? To tell you, Sheshkulin Ke'echad. It's to tell you that they are equally significant. So it's to tell you that Moses and Aaron are equally significant. That's what Rashi says, Sheshkulin Ke'echad, that they are equally significant. But this is problematic because how can Rashi say that they're equally significant when at the very end of the Torah portion it says, "V'lo kam navi od b'Yisrael k'Moshe asher yado Hashem panim al panim." It says at the very end of the Torah that there'll never be somebody as great as Moses. And we know that there are other verses that the man Moses was the most humble man who ever walked the face of the earth. So if that's the case, how could the Torah tell us that Aaron and Moses were equal when we know that Moses was the greatest human being to ever live? So this was the question that we raised in our Rashi study yesterday. And so one of the answers I want to share with you, two answers, and then I'll share with you what the Rebbe's answer is. The Lubavitcher Rebbe also addresses this question, and also the Lubavitcher Rebbe addresses this question. So the one answer is that when it says that Moshe was the greatest, maybe it just refers to in the area of prophecy, but not necessarily in other aspects. That's difficult because to be the greatest prophet is really to be the greatest human being, because it means you've reached the highest spiritual level. So that answer didn't sit well with me. So another answer I heard was that Moshe and Aaron were both equal in the sense that they both reached their full potential. That Moshe and Aaron both achieved the full potential of what they were capable of achieving. And this is like the story that my uncle said before he died. By my uncle, I mean my ancestor, Reb Elimelech, his brother, Reb Zusha. And before Reb Zusha died, they saw him crying. And they said, why are you crying? Everybody knows that Zusha davened so beautifully. Is it your fault that you're dying? And everybody knows that you study Torah so beautifully. So why are you crying? So Reb Zusha said, when I go up to heaven, they're not going to ask me, why didn't I study Torah like Moses? Or why didn't I pray like Aaron? But rather, they're going to say to me, why didn't I do as well as Reb Zusha was capable of doing? So that's what Reb Zusha said, meaning to say that our spiritual responsibility in life is to reach our full potential. And so that's why Moshe and Aaron are considered equal, because they both were able to reach their full potential. So that's another answer about why Moshe and Aaron are considered to be equal and together. And now I want to share with you what the Lubavitcher Rebbe says. Now, Lubavitcher Rebbe says like this. The Lubavitcher Rebbe says, hold on one second. Hold on, just give me 1 second and I'll take the questions in a moment. I'm going to read what the Rebbe says. The Rebbe says like this. The Rebbe says, Moshe was the transmitter of the Torah. What's their roles? Moshe was the transmitter of the Torah, which Moshe received from Hashem. Our inner Moshe is therefore our study of God's Torah. So when we say we refer to the Moshe aspect of us, we're referring to the study of Torah and the performance of his commandments. But Aaron HaKohen, he represents the priest. He represents prayer. So when we say we refer to our inner Moses, that refers to the Torah aspect of our lives, and the prayer, and our inner Aaron refers to the prayer aspect of our lives. So, meaning to say, because the prayers reach up to God, just like the sacrifices reached up to God. So the Rebbe says that the Torah sometimes mentions Moses before Aaron and Aaron before Moses. This teaches us that sometimes that the way we could, sometimes the best way for us to access Hashem is through study, Torah study, and for other times and for other people, the best way to access God is through prayer. So therefore, these are the two main ways to access God. And at different points in our life, we might relate to them differently. Sometimes it's through study and sometimes it's through prayer. And it's not necessarily the case that one is more important than the other. That's the Rebbe's answer, which I think is a very, very beautiful answer. So let me pause the recording and I see people have questions.